Yo, Tony D here. Got a special one for you. At the local comic shop, they have a Facebook page, and I started posting questions on there. And I posted, what is a story arc that has stuck with you throughout the years? And one of the responders, Matthew Fletcher, responded with Justice League of America 221, 222, and 223. He had pictures of them, and he was saying he was in kindergarten. It was disturbing. There was violence, decapitations, and I was like, I'm in, totally in. So I went ahead. I bought 221 on mycomicshop.com. It was like $4.70 for a very fine copy, and that's what I like. I like to hear other people's stories about comics, and then I like to go and check them out and see what it was about. It's cheap, and you have a viewpoint going into it from 5-year-old Matt, right? So what could be so disturbing where your covers are your only protection? Cries for mom are just a whisper. I want you to join me on this viewing of a nightmare-fueled issue. I give you Gerry Conway's JLA 221. Deadlier than the male. Beasts. I love it. I want to mention the artists real quick. Chuck Patton and Pablo Marcos. The reason why I mention that is they do an excellent job conveying the creepiness, the disturbing stuff that we're looking at here. Already, you see the car with the 666 license plate. So we have dark arts at work. In my first viewing of this, I didn't see that. I just caught it, actually. And you see this creepy dude right here. Yeah, viewpoint from a 5-year-old. That would be freaky. This art reminds me of Carmen Infantino, and that's why I mentioned the two artists that are writing it, because I thought it was Infantino. Shout out to those two artists. They did a really good job conveying the tone of the book, which is disturbing. So, and Gerry Conway's writing is on point. I'm not going to read it to you, but it's very artfully done as far as the dialogue. And you have the rich here, and they're going to an event, and this is a blood sport event. And look at this. The dude is sweating. The chick is licking her lips. They're cheering for this violence that they're watching. That's what you don't see what's going on, but they're cheering for it. And then, boom, here it goes. She gets more and more into it, and the artist did a really good job showing that. And then you get the splat, the blood splat. So a viewpoint of a 5-year-old, I could see that. I don't know what pre-code was doing around this time, but I don't know. And this is one of those books, it could slide right by your parents. You could pick it up off a spinner rack. Hey, can I have this? And 75 cents later, your imagination is going to work. So we get to our heroes. They're finding some run-of-the-mill clowns. But as they're fighting, this was something I thought that could add to the disturbance. As Superman starts boiling the water. That's a pretty violent thing for old Superman to do. And it's, yeah, whatever, just boil him. And then you get this shadow. This is type of stuff where you wouldn't want to get in the swimming pool for sure. So boom, you get this beast. And what's really creepy about it is it has human arms where it's humanoid. So it's not really a pure beast. Somebody training a whale to do something. It's some kind of mutate or gene manipulated thing. And I thought this was weird too. So you got black, and then you see this. She's coming out, and they're lip locked. I didn't think you could drown an Amazonian, but he gave her the old mouth to mouth with a resuscitator. And I think it's a little bit more than a Baywatch moment. I think Soups is doing, you know what I'm saying? So they talk a little about it. They get whatever they were stealing. Then you got my boy, the Flash, one of my favorites. He comes upon the same shady characters. he whips him really good. And he sees something, and it is creepy. It gets him. And the writing here, he's talking about it. My insides are ripping out. So if you were reading this at 5, I can imagine the dialogue wasn't that kid friendly. So they leave him there to just die. But you ain't taking the Flash out that easy. There's no way. And you got old Ralph Digby. Yeah, Elastic Man. So he follows this criminal and he gets to drop on him. And then the writing here is disturbing. He's lowered their eyes. Those are human eyes. And so they attack him. And this was pretty violent right here where he gets on a press and this dude just lets him have it. And they're pecking at him. I totally see it. You got Firestorm. This was my favorite iteration of Firestorm. So he sees a shady character. It's one of the beasts. But this was another thing I saw. Another 666. The dark arts are deep in this. You know what I'm saying? I tried to see if any of that other 1980s computer, what they put on there meant anything. They got 07, Spectre. Shout out. Just noticed that. You got a 07, Spectre. Very nice. 497, 811. Probably means something. So Firestorm, they get into it. She's pretty strong. And he subdues her. She keeps talking about someone she doesn't want to go back to. Obviously a place that created her. And she wants protection. So he's like, all right, cool. We'll protect you. This is where the disturb factor gets ratcheted up to the squared power. So the heroes are recovering that we previously saw get whipped. Too easy, I might add. But hey, we'll go with it. So you have Hawkman. He's out in the desert doing archaeologist stuff. And these things come out. They're just killing people. And he does his Hawkman thing. And they're getting what they need. And yeah, these things are very creepy. Hawkman. This really stood out. This guy right here, look what it's doing to Rick. You just see blood. Things that leaves your imagination to fill in the blanks. That's pretty violent. And then Hawkman thinks it's just dudes in costumes, which is weird, but he finds out, oh, okay, you're a monster. I'm going to lay the smacketh down. And they get him popped with poison. Then you get this guy here. He must be the creator of this stuff, the main antagonist at the end. Yeah, totally enjoyed it. Glad it's in my collection. And I love it when somebody recommends something that they remember. I want the channel to be more about that, about other people and story time. This $4.70 is really more special to me than spending $10 on some variant cover of something that means nothing. It's just a cover that you're speculating on. So people's stories are important to me, and I'm trying to get more of that out of people. Just when you talk to them, you can see it. If it's in person, you can see it in their eyes when they're describing something that has had an effect on them in the past, or just something that they're into. So there you go. 222 and 223 will be coming because we got to find out what nightmares await. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.